Hey YouTube, it's Firewizard23, and it's time for That Time When My Date of Birth Was Wrong with the IRS. Over the years, obviously I've been filing my taxes. I was doing it by hand with the Easy form for years, and I eventually transitioned to H&R Block because I was just so fed up with trying to figure out tax forms because they're like, if you were this in 2008, then do this and da 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 da. Unless da 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 da. It drives me crazy. I can't stand it. So I was hiring people. Just do my taxes. I don't care. Well, sir, it's just a W-2 and all this. Just do my taxes. I don't care. Like I'm that kind of person. Like I just cannot do it. I don't care. And I eventually, now at this point in my life, I was going to a senior center where they had free people that would do your taxes for you. In addition, during the time that I was at the hospital, the union would actually do our taxes for us. So I didn't have to touch anything. Just bring in the W-2 and they'd fix you all up. Then the COVID-19 pandemic hit. And I was stuck with a problem where there wouldn't be the free services to do that because obviously we can't congregate the people. So I was talking to my friend David, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you just use TurboTax? I've been using them for years, and that everything's gone just fine with them." I'm like, "But I'll have to go through all these questions, and I don't know what to do." Fine, whatever. You gotta get your taxes done, so here we go. Here we go. We're gonna do my taxes with TurboTax. It's gonna be awesome. And he told me it was free. Okay, so I got the TurboTax website, and it asked me the core information, create password, okay. Went through all the questions. It was actually pretty straightforward. One of my W-2s got integrated, pulled into the system automatically. The other one, I simply entered all the information directly. Fine. And then I came to my student loans at the time, where unfortunately, because of the fact I had student loans, I couldn't file, at least according to TurboTax, I couldn't do the free program with them. I had to pay like $30. I'm like, screw you, David. I sent him this message. I was so mad. I was so mad with him. But I went through the thing, whatever. I went through the message. Went through it all. Finished up. Okay, you're going to get this back and this back from federal, this from state. Cool. Awesome. Submit. I'm cool. Swipe my credit card and just took care of the payment. I get an email message. Your state return could not be filed because your federal return was rejected. Huh? I get another message. Your federal return could not be filed because the date of birth you have submitted is not the date of birth on file with the IRS. What? I went back into the system, just go back to the first steps. Like, did I just type it wrong? Did I just hit the wrong key or something? Looked at it, like, no, that is my date of birth. I tried submitting it again, thinking perhaps it was just some kind of a glitch or something. No, it gave me the same message. I'm furious at this point because I just want to do this, and I'm reading all this stuff about filing it manually. Like you should get a hold of the state tax people and talk to the federal IRS. I'm like, oh god, why do I have to do this fucking thing? I just want my taxes filed. I don't care. And this also led to great confusion on my part because I'm like, how could this be wrong? I've done paper forms for years with this date of birth. I was at H&R Block for all those years. I did the like my union filing my taxes and the community center filing my taxes for this date of birth. Like, this seems very odd. I couldn't foresee any reason from a identity theft standpoint. Why would you change someone's date of birth? That doesn't make any sense. So like a couple weeks, I'm just flustered about this, and I finally ended up calling TurboTax, and I'm like, okay, this is the error message I'm getting. What do I do? I think we're just gonna have to file the taxes manually. Okay, but you're still going to want to call the IRS and let them know what's going on. Fine, whatever. This is what happened one morning. Okay, this happened in a period of about 2 hours, everything I'm about to describe. I did a quick little Google search and said, how does one get someone on the phone from the IRS? And it actually gave me the button sequence I would press, like, 232, you're going to get a person. I got a person like almost within a minute. My name is Mr. Chamberlain. I am agent number 100. Who am I speaking with? And I explained what was going on, and I said, I'm trying to file my taxes, and it's not working. It's saying the date of birth is wrong. So, okay, let me pull this up. He pulls it up. Okay, do you see me? Yes. Okay, and my date of birth is da-da-da-da-da. He's like, well, we have this date of birth. It was 2 days off from mine. Like, I'm here, and this one's here. Like, that's not right. Well, that's what we have in our system, and what comes in our system is actually supplied by the Social Security Administration. So you'd have to speak with them if you want to change, if you want to correct that. And he was very nice. He got me the number of the Social Security Administration, like a 10-minute call, just talking to the IRS. Very, very nice guy. I called the Social Security Administration. Hi, my name is Victoria, Social Security Administration. Who am I speaking with? And I spoke to Victoria and kind of got her up to speed with what was going on. And I said, yeah, my birth date is this. What do you have on file? Yeah, we have the date of birth he mentioned. We've had it since, mentioned 1 year after I was born. I'm like, what? But how? And I don't think I went over it with either Victoria or Mr. Chamberlain. I guess years ago, someone, Mrs. Pennyapple, this was kind of my theory, Mrs. Pennyapple retiring, it just got typed in wrong when my birth certificate came into the Social Security Administration to create my account. It just simply got entered wrong. Somebody just hit the wrong keystroke. And I think over the years that I was filing with the IRS, TurboTax does the date of birth match, but none of those other systems did. Or they simply overrode it and it didn't matter. It's somebody's taxes. Well, who cares if we have the date of birth wrong? Whatever. It's the money. Here it is. So I guess they just didn't care. And so I'm talking with Victoria and I said, we need to update this. And coincidentally, when I used to live in Vermont, I moved to New York. As part of getting your New York driver's license, I needed an actual copy of my birth certificate that I could bring to the Department of Motor Vehicles. And I acquired that through talking to the hospital where I was born, and we got the actual birth record to me. I think it cost me $180 or something like that to get that, but I still had it. I never got rid of it, so I actually had a genuine copy of my birth certificate. So Victoria hooked me up with the local welfare office over here, and talked to them, and I explained what we needed to do, and they said, okay, we can update this. What we'll do is the form for reissuing you a new Social Security card. That process will reset your date of birth. Cool. And unfortunately, this is in the middle of a pandemic, but they said, we'll give you this form. Pretty straightforward form. My mom's name, my dad's name, and we need the actual copy of the birth certificate, which I had, and we need your driver's license. Had I been able to go into the office, they simply would have just taken it from me for a sec, scanned it, and handed it back. But it's we need your driver's license so we know who we're talking to. It's thankfully, I only drive 3 miles to work, but I mailed all those things to them, and I waited for a week, and I was getting really antsy, why isn't my driver's license coming back? Because they said they were going to send it back. But I actually called them and I said, I need that back. That is my driver's license. Oh, here it is. Okay, we'll send that back. And within a few days later, and we're getting really close to April 15th, I got the new Social Security card, which means it was a week delay for the Social Security Administration to update with the IRS. I went back into the TurboTax account, hit the submit button again, did it! It submitted my taxes. And I put this joyous message up on Facebook. I finally filed my taxes. But just what a weird thing. It was off 2 days, and it had been that way pretty much since I was born. Just somebody messed up. But that morning when I talked to the IRS, the Social Security Administration, and all the welfare offices and stuff, I was in awe. First of all, of the efficiency that was handled, and secondly, wow, this wasn't a glitch. This actually was what it was. Just a very extraordinary set of circumstances. And that's the story of how my date of birth was wrong with the IRS.